So the parasite that lives on the outer surface of the host body is called a ectoparasite. That don't usually cause disease and they are the vectors of disease. For example, ticks. Ticks which can transmit the organisms that cause diseases such as Rocky Mountain spotted fever and Lyme's disease, as we discussed in the previous topic. Rocky Mountain spotted fever is called by rickettsia, and the tick is the vector of Rocky Mountain spotted fever. So the parasite that lives on the outer surface of the host body is called a ectoparasite. Whereas endoparasite is a parasite that lives inside the body of the host, and the examples are tapeworms, hookworms, and trypanosomas that live within the host organs or tissues. So they are not present outside the host; they are present inside the host, and they will be present inside the organs or the tissues, as well as organisms such as sporozoans that invade the host cells. So they are present inside the body, and the ectoparasites are present outside the body. Today we will discuss the intestinal and urogenital protozoas, and basically our today's topic is Entamoeba histolytica. The major protozoan pathogens are grouped according to the location in the body where they most frequently cause disease. Whenever we categorize or we classify the parasites, Wajiha, any question? Problem आ रही है. Just give me a minute, बच्चे. Wajiha. Wajiha, any question? Hello. बच्चे कोई क्वेश्चन है?
नो मैम, वो बस गलती से हो गया था.
ओके बेटा. So the major protozoan pathogens are grouped according to the location in the body. So whenever we categorize the parasites, we classify them on the basis of the location in the body. So we classify them as the urogenital or intestinal protozoas. They could be blood protozoas, the protozoas that are present within the blood, urogenital or intestinal protozoa that are present in the intestinal tract or in the urogenital tract. Within the intestinal tract, there are three main organisms: the amoeba, which is Entamoeba histolytica, the flagellate that has a structure, flagella-like structure, which is called Giardia lamblia, and the sporozoan, which is Cryptosporidium. And in the urogenital tract, the flagellate that is important is Trichomonas vaginalis. So in the intestinal tract, there are three important organisms: Entamoeba histolytica, Giardia, and Cryptosporidium. And in the urogenital tract, there is one important organism which is called Trichomonas vaginalis. Today we will discuss Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica causes amoebic dysentery and liver abscess. Beta, Entamoeba histolytica is a very important topic. जब भी हम parasitology पढ़ते हैं, Entamoeba histolytica is a very important topic. It usually comes in your paper. So बेटा focus आज करना जरूर इस पे, ठीक है? जब भी हम कोई भी पैरासाइट पढ़ते हैं बेटा, उसके अंदर हम उसका लाइफ साइकिल बहुत पढ़ते हैं, ठीक है? लाइफ साइकिल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन पैरासाइट्स. Life cycle is very important in parasitology. Whenever you have a question, you have to write the life cycle of the parasite. Now we will discuss the important properties. There are two stages of life cycle. The motile is amoebic phase or the trophozoite phase, and the non-motile is a cystic phase. So there are two stages. The motile or the active form is trophozoite, and then comes the non-motile, which is the cystic stage. The trophozoite is found within the intestinal and extra-intestinal lesions and in the diarrheal stools. The cyst predominates in the non-diarrheal stools. So you will find the trophozoite form or the active or motile form in the intestinal and extraintestinal lesions or in the diarrheal stools, whereas the cyst predominates in the non-diarrheal stools. They are readily killed by the boiling water, but not by the chlorination of the water supplies. So they are readily killed by boiling, but not by the chlorination of the water supplies. They are removed by the filtration of water. Beta, now we will discuss the cystic form of Entamoeba histolytica. You will have to focus on the cystic form and on the trophozoite form because you have to differentiate them in your OSPE or in the Viva or in your MCQs as well. The cyst has 4 nuclei, which is an important diagnostic criteria. Whenever we diagnose the Entamoeba histolytica, we diagnose it on the basis of its cystic form and on the basis of its trophozoite form. So whenever we see the cystic form, we find 4 nuclei. 4 nuclei are present in the cystic form, and it is an important diagnostic criteria. Upon excistation in the intestinal tract, an amoeba with 4 nuclei emerges and then divides to form 8 trophozoites. So beta, it enters the body, it enters your intestinal tract in the cystic form. But when the cyst form changes into the trophozoite form, the 4 nuclei are divided into 8 trophozoites. So cyst has the 4 nuclei. Upon excistation in the intestinal tract, amoeba with 4 nuclei emerges and then divides to form 8 trophozoites. So cyst एक थी, उसके अंदर 4 nuclei हैं. When it enters the intestinal tract, excistation होती है बेटा. Cyst form जो है trophozoite form में change होगा, तो 4 nuclei जो हैं बेटा, they will divide and emerges themselves into 8 protozoas. So one cyst has 4 nuclei. In the intestinal tract, they will divide it into or emerges it into 8 trophozoites. ठीक है? Now comes the trophozoite form. The mature trophozoite has a single nucleus. अब देखो बेटा, cystic form में क्या था? 4 nuclei थे, ठीक है? Whereas in the mature trophozoite form, there is single nucleus with an even lining of the peripheral chromatin and prominent central nucleolus. ये देखें बेटा, in the B picture, you will find this is the cystic form, and you will see the 4 nuclei, whereas the A is the trophozoite form, and you will find the 1 single nucleus and the chromatin present on the periphery. Now we will discuss the life cycle, which is very important. First of all, there is ingestion of the fecally contaminated water of food containing the Entamoeba histolytica cyst. There is no other reservoir. There is only human-to-human transmission. So beta, whenever there is ingestion of the fecally contaminated water or food, Entamoeba histolytica cyst enters the body. When it enters the body, I will first give you the details, then we will discuss the diagram. There is no animal reservoir. There is fecal-oral route, fecal-oral transmission. Mature cysts are passed in the feces of an infected human. Another human can get infected by ingesting them in fecally contaminated food or hands. So there is fecal-oral route of transmission. If the cyst survives the acidic stomach, they transforms back into trophozoites in the small intestine. अगर तो बेटा cystic form में enter हुआ है ना Entamoeba histolytica, if the cyst survives the acidic stomach, acidic environment of the stomach, then they goes to the small intestine and transforms back into the trophozoites. If they can't survive the acidic stomach, then they will finish there. But when they survive the acidic environment of the stomach, they go to the small intestine and then transforms back into the trophozoite form or into the active form. The ingested cysts differentiate into the trophozoites in the ileum, but tend to colonize the cecum and colon. Beta, ingested cysts जो हैं, they differentiate them into the motile form in the ileum. Ileum में बेटा सिर्फ वो differentiate होती है, but they colonize in the cecum or in the colon. The ingested cells differentiate into the trophozoites form in the ileum. Ileum में बेटा सिर्फ उसने differentiate होना है, but they tend to colonize the cecum and colon. Colonization कहाँ पे होती है? Cecum में या colon में. Now comes the pathogenesis. The trophozoites invade the colonic epithelium. Colonic epithelium को invade करेगी, colonize करेगी, and they secrete the enzymes that cause local necrosis. Whenever they attach themselves to the colonic mucosa, they secrete the enzymes that cause the localized necrosis. The little inflammation occurs at the site. जब भी necrosis होगा बेटा वहाँ पे inflammation होगी. As the lesion reaches the muscularis layer, a typical flask-shaped ulcer forms that can undermine and destroy the large areas of intestinal epithelium. So, first of all, the cystic form is ingested. When it goes into the stomach, it may finish there. It may not survive the acidic environment of the stomach. But if it survives the acidic environment of the stomach, then it goes to the then it goes in the intestine and it divide itself into the trophozoite form or differentiate itself into the trophozoite form. The trophozoite form is differentiated in the ileum, but it colonizes the colon and cecum, and whenever it colonizes, it secretes the enzymes and cause the local necrosis in the colonic mucosa. Little inflammation can be present there, and as the lesion reaches the muscularis layer, a typical flask-shaped ulcer forms. तो बेटा क्या है कि जब वो colonize करेगा colonic mucosa को, वहाँ पे necrosis होगा, the lesion reaches, और जब lesion जाएगा और जब वो invade कर जाएगा muscularis layer तक, then there will be flask-shaped ulcers in the colon. Flask-shaped ulcer forms and can undermine and destroys the large areas of intestinal epithelium. And then progression into the submucosa leads to invasion of the portal circulation by the trophozoites. अब बेटा मैंने आपको बताया कि जब वो invade करेगा, muscularis layer तक चला जाएगा, the flask-shaped ulcers will be formed. And muscularis layer के बाद कौन सी layer present होती है? Muscularis layer के बाद बेटा कौन सी layer present है? आप मुझे बताएं. Anyone? After the muscularis layer, there will be submucosa. अब जब वो submucosa तक पहुंच जाएगा, then it will invade the portal circulation. ठीक है? Whenever the trophozoites reaches the portal circulation, they reach the liver. By far, the most frequent site of the systemic disease is the liver, where abscesses containing trophozoites form. So, enter हुआ बेटा through your mouth in the stomach. Stomach को अगर वो environment को survive करेगा, it will go to the intestine, differentiate in the cystic form will differentiate into the trophozoite form. The trophozoite form invades the colonic mucosa. The flask-shaped ulcers will be formed, and if it invades the submucosa, then it will go into the portal circulation. ठीक है? Whenever it goes into the portal circulation, it will reach the liver. And by far the most frequent site, जो कि systemic disease की most frequent site है, it is liver, because it invades the submucosa and reaches the portal circulation, and through the portal circulation it will reach the liver. And बेटा liver में जाके ये क्या करेगा? It will form the liver abscess, and there will be trophozoites present in the liver abscess. What are the clinical findings? अब बेटा मैं आपको वो diagram दिखाती हूँ. Life cycle. इसमें आप देखिए. There will be ingestion of the fecally contaminated water or food containing the Entamoeba histolytic acid. It will enter the body. It will go into the stomach. Then this is excistation. यहाँ से बेटा क्या हो रहा है? ये stomach से कहाँ जा रहा है? Ileum में. यहाँ पे ये survive कर लेगा acidic environment of the stomach, then it will reach the colon, then there is excistation. यहाँ पे excistation से क्या होगा? Cyst से trophozoite form बन जाएगी, ठीक है? And if after this trophozoite form, it will invade the, यहाँ पे invasion होगी colon की by the trophozoites. Whenever there will be colonization of the trophozoites, ये देखें, यहाँ पे colonization हो रही है, it will reach the muscularis mucosa and there will be flask shaped ulcers and it will then invade the submucosa and reaches the outer circulation and there will be extraintestinal diseases in which there will be liver abscess. ठीक है? The cystic form is ingested, it enters the stomach, survives the acidic environment, goes into the intestine, and in the intestine there will be excitation. Excitation is cyst से बेटा trophozoite form बनती है. Whenever there will be excitation, there will be invasion of the colon by the trophozoites, and it will invade, forms the flask-shaped ulcers, and then goes into the portal circulation, and whenever it reaches the portal circulation it will reach the liver, and in the liver it will form the liver abscess. I hope आप लोगों को समझ लग जाए. Then comes the clinical findings. There will be acute intestinal amoebiasis, presents as dysentery accompanied by lower abdominal discomfort and flatulence. बेटा क्या है, हमने पढ़ा था dysentery, Bacillary dysentery, Shigella and amoebic dysentery. हमने differences किए थे ना amoebic dysentery और bacillary dysentery में. So Entamoeba histolytica is responsible for causing amoebic dysentery. ठीक है? Amoebic dysentery में क्या होगा बेटा? There will be abdominal discomfort, there will be bloody diarrhea and abdominal pain and flatulence. ये बेटा हम पहले भी कर चुके हैं सारा का सारा टेबल, ये आप लोगों को आता है. जब हम लोगों ने शिगेला किया है बहुत डिटेल में आपको कराया गया, ये 2 to 3 टाइम्स मैं रिपीट कर चुकी हूँ. यहाँ पे भी आप देख लें. The number of motions per day in amoebic dysentery caused by entamoeba is 6 to 8, and in the bacillary dysentery the number of motions are in large number. They may be greater than 10. The amount of feces in the amoebic dysentery is copious, whereas the bacillary dysentery the amount is scanty. So in amoebic dysentery the frequency is less as compared to the bacillary dysentery, but the amount is copious. The order is offensive in amoebic dysentery, whereas the order is not present, or it is orderless in bacillary dysentery. The color is dark red in bacillary amoebic dysentery, whereas it is bright red in bacillary dysentery. The nature is blood and mucus mixed with feces, and blood and mucus mixed with little feces. As I told you, there will be copious amount in the amoebic dysentery. pH is acidic. pH of the feces is acidic and alkaline in amoebic dysentery. Consistency, it is not adherent to the container whenever we take the stool sample, whereas in bacillary dysentery it will be adherent to the bottom of container. आपको पता बेटा ये क्वेश्चन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपसे डिफरेंसेस पूछे जाते हैं amoebic dysentery और bacillary dysentery के, ये आपने याद करने हैं. ठीक है, ये आप लोगों के पास पहले भी टेबल प्रेजेंट है, ये भी बेटा आप लोग देख लें. नाउ अभी जो एक्यूट एमीबिएसिस है उसमें क्या प्रेजेंटेशन होती है? एक्यूट एमीबिएसिस में बेटा एक्चुअली बेसिलरी डिसेंट्री होती है, एमीबिक डिसेंट्री होती है, एंड इन एमीबिक डिसेंट्री देयर विल बी ब्लडी डायरिया. The amount of or the frequency, the amount is copious and the frequency is 6 to 8 stools per day. And now we will move towards the chronic amoebiasis. In chronic amoebiasis जहाँ पे chronic amoebiasis तब होगा बेटा जबकि Entamoeba histolytica एक low amount में आपकी body में present रहे काफी देर. There will be low grade symptoms such as occasional diarrhea, off and on diarrhea, weight loss and fatigue. Roughly 90% of those infected have asymptomatic infections, but they may be carriers. 90% are asymptomatic, but they may be carriers. They may transmit the infection to the others, whose feces contain the cysts that can be transmitted to the others. What is amoeboma? In patients, a granulomatous lesion called amoeboma may form in the cecal or rectosigmoid areas of the colon. These lesions can resemble, बेटा जब ये invade करेगा ना colonic mucosa और तो वहाँ पे ये क्या बनाएगा? It may form a granulomatous lesion, which is called amoeboma. So whenever it invades the colon, it may form a granulomatous lesion which is called amoeboma, and these lesions may resemble the adenocarcinoma of colon and must be distinguished from them. Amoebic abscess of liver is characterized. अब बेटा हम डिस्कस करेंगे, as I told you, whenever there will be extraintestinal manifestation, there will be liver abscess when it invades the portal circulation, and whenever there will be liver abscess की एक बहुत बड़ी कॉज है बेटा. The most important cause is Entamoeba histolytica. Amoebic abscess of the liver is characterized by right upper quadrant pain. Patient present कैसे करेगा liver abscess का या amoebic abscess का? He will have a right upper quadrant pain. The pain may be sharp and there will be weight loss, fever. Whenever there is abscess, there will be fever. A tender enlarged liver, right lobe abscesses can penetrate the diaphragm and cause lung diseases. अगर तो right lobe abscesses हैं, they may rupture and they may penetrate the diaphragm and may cause the lung diseases. So amoebic liver abscess का patient कैसे present करेगा? He may be presented with sharp or acute right abdominal, right upper quadrant pain. There may be weight loss, there will be high-grade fever, a tender enlarged liver, and the right lobe abscesses may penetrate the diaphragm and cause the lung diseases. बेटा अक्सर एंटीमेबा हिस्टोलिटिका का जो सिनेरियो आता है वो लिवर एब्सेस का आता है. Like a 30 years old man presented in emergency with acute right upper quadrant pain. On examination, the upper quadrant is tender and there is enlarged liver, and the patient have high grade fever. तो बेटा इस तरह के scenarios आते हैं. We will discuss the scenarios later. Most cases of the amoebic liver abscess occurs in patients who have not had overt intestinal amoebiasis. मोस्टली लिवर एब्सेस के पेशेंट्स कौन से होते हैं बेटा? जिनमें कॉन्टिन्यूसली इंटेस्टाइनल एमीबिएसिस जो है वो इंटेस्टाइन में एंटामीबा हिस्टोलिटिका उनके प्रेजेंट है. एस्पिरेशन ऑफ द लिवर एब्सेस यील्ड्स ब्राउनिश येलो पास. बेटा ये लाइन बहुत ध्यान से सुने. एस्पिरेशन ऑफ द लिवर एब्सेस यील्ड्स ब्राउनिश येलो पास विद कंसिस्टेंसी ऑफ एनक्वी पेस्ट. तो बेटा क्या है कि जब भी एस्पिरेट करेंगे हम लिवर एब्सेस को, देयर विल बी ब्राउनिश येलो पस विद कंसिस्टेंसी ऑफ एंचोवी पेस्ट. And what are the possible complications? The possible complications are the abscess may rupture into the abdominal cavity. Liver abscess may rupture into the abdominal cavity. If the right lobe of liver is involved, it may rupture into the diaphragm and it may invade the lungs, or it may rupture into the sac around the heart, and the infection can also spread to the brain. Now, how you will diagnose the intestinal amoebiasis? The diagnosis of the intestinal amoebiasis rests on finding either trophozoites in the diarrheal stools or cyst in the form stools. मैंने आपको बताया था बेटा, trophozoites are present in the diarrheal stools, whereas cystic form is present in the non-diarrheal stools. The diarrheal stools should be examined within 1 hour of collection to see the amoeboid motility of the trophozoite. तो सबसे पहले क्या है बेटा, आप stool sample लेंगे, ठीक है? Whenever you a patient of dysentery comes to you, you will do the stool. You will collect the stool specimen and you will do the stool examination. And whenever you will do the stool examination, you will find the trophozoites in the diarrheal stools or cystic form in the non-diarrheal stools. And beta, जब आप cystic form देखेंगे, you will find the 4 nuclei in it, whereas whenever you find the trophozoite form is motile. So within 1 hour you will have to examine it under the microscope. You will see the trophozoites motility, and the trophozoite form has only 1 nucleus. The trophozoites characteristically contains ingested red blood cells. Because cysts are passed intermittently, at least 3 specimens should be examined. Okay? As you know that cysts are present in the non-diarrheal stools, so you have to take the 3 specimens. Entamoeba histolytica can be distinguished from the other amoebas by 2 major criteria. The first is the nature of the nucleus of the trophozoite. The Entamoeba histolytica nucleus has a small central nucleolus and the fine chromatin granules, as I showed you in the previous slide. there is central small nucleolus, whereas the fine chromatin granules along the border of the nuclear membrane. तो क्या है बेटा, central nucleolus है, whereas the fine chromatin granules along the border of the nuclear membrane. This is the characteristic feature of the nucleus of the trophozoite. और as I told you, trophozoite form में बेटा सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही nucleus होता है, ठीक है? The nuclei of the other amoebas are quite different. The second is cyst size and number of the nuclei. Mature cysts of Entamoeba histolytica are smaller than that of Entamoeba coli and contain 4 nuclei, whereas Entamoeba coli cysts have 8 nuclei. So, बेटा मैंने आपको बताया है कि cystic form में 4 nuclei हैं, whereas in the trophozoite form there is 1 nuclei, but there is the chromatin granules are present along the border of the nuclear membrane. Two tests are highly specific for Entamoeba histolytica in the stools. One will detect the Entamoeba antigen and the other will detect nucleic acid. And the nucleic acids you will detect by the PCR. So a complete examination for the cyst includes a wet mount in the saline. ये बेटा हम जब stool examination करेंगे, I will give you the detailed view of all these. An iodine stained wet mount, a fixed trichome stain preparation. बेटा ये आपके लिए इतना important नहीं है. You will, if you will tell the diagnostic criteria, you will have to write that you will find the cyst or the trophozoite form in the stools. In the diarrheal stool, you will find the trophozoite form, whereas in the cystic in the non-diarrheal stool, you will find the cystic form. And in the diarrheal stool, you will find the trophozoite form, and the trophozoite form consists of the single nucleus, whereas the chromatin granules are present along the nuclear membrane, whereas the cystic form consists of the 4 nuclei. This is the diagnostic criteria. And as I told you, the cysts may be passed intermittently, so you have to take the 3 specimens. ये तो हो गया number 1 criteria. दूसरा क्या है बेटा? You can either detect the antigens or you can do the PCR. Now comes the treatment. The treatment of choice for the symptomatic intestinal amoebiasis or the hepatic abscesses is metronidazole, which is Flagyl, or tinidazole. So the treatment of choice is metronidazole, which is Flagyl. The brand name is Flagyl. A symptomatic cyst carriers should be treated with ideoquinol or paromomycin. So beta क्या है? Asymptomatic patients कितने होते हैं? They are 90%. So you have to treat them with ideoquinol or paromomycin. So the treatment of choice for the symptomatic cases is metronidazole or tinidazole, whereas the asymptomatic carriers should be treated with ideoquinol. Now we will discuss the treatment of the liver abscess, which is an extra-intestinal manifestation of the Entamoeba histolytica. The use of the amoebicidal drugs is the first-line treatment of amoebic liver abscess. सबसे पहले क्या देंगे बेटा? You will give the amoebicidal drugs, which is metronidazole. Metronidazole is the drug of choice. Yeah, I think metronidazole का spelling गलत. This is metronidazole. The size of the abscess is an important factor in determining the response of the medical treatment. Percutaneous needle aspiration or the catheter drainage are other modalities of treatment. So, first of all, you will give the medical treatment, which is Flagyl or metronidazole, to regress the size of the abscess. And in the failure, you will either do the needle aspiration. It may be ultrasound guided or the CT scan guided catheter drainage. So catheter is passed in the liver. It is ultrasound guided, or it may be CT guided catheter drainage. So you will either do the drainage, which may be under the ultrasound, which may be ultrasound guided or CT scan guided, or it may, or you will either do the medical treatment, which is metronidazole. Surgical open drainage is indicated for only those with complicated amoebic abscesses. For example, secondary infection or peritonitis with perforations. आप surgical open drainage तब करते हैं बेटा जब liver abscess जो है वो rupture हो जाए और वो abdominal cavity में either spread हो जाए जिसकी वजह से peritonitis हो जाए, और it may be rupture into the cavity of lungs or in the sac of the heart. So surgical open drainage is indicated in the complicated cases, for example, in the peritonitis or with perforation, who fail to respond to the conservative management. So what is the mode of prevention? Avoid the fecal contaminated of food and water. As I told you, there is fecal-oral route of transmission. There is person-to-person transmission, and there is fecal contamination of the food and water. So avoid the fecal contamination of food and water. Personal hygiene actually better करनी चाहिए. ठीक है? Frequent hand washing. Good personal hygiene such as frequent hand washing, and there will be purification of the municipal water supplies. And in areas of endemic infection, vegetables should be cooked. So food should be cooked properly. There should be purification of water and good personal hygiene or good personal measures. This ends entamoeba. Any questions, bacho? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
दो का शायद PhD करूंगा।
बच्चों कोई क्वेश्चन है आपको?
एमफिल तो PhD की थी, MBBS के बाद इस
No, ma'am.
डॉक्टर MBBS डॉक्टर तो ही, लेकिन क्लिनिकल साइड तक नहीं गए। लैब करे दिए सारे हॉस्पिटल।
Any questions, बच्चों?
लैब टेस्ट